Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another week of the Mania 7 Key World Cup 2023. We're here to kick off the first few matches of the quarterfinals. I am Potassium F here casting with SurfChew85. How are you doing today?
Hello and good evening, everyone. Also, doing very well.
Yeah, you better be doing pretty well because we've got a few really exciting matches here. Of course, the first one being none other than Philippines versus Japan. Two teams showing in different ways a very exciting performance last week. Of course, anyone that watched the Japan match last week knows that this team came very clutch.
They had an extremely nerve-wracking route to that victory over Indonesia last weekend. Team Japan basically getting a reverse sweep. Like if you watch that entire match without really telling that much, some people would even think that Indonesia already had it in the bag, but Japan just had other ideas.
Yeah, 4-1 down, Japan was, managing to bring it back all the way 4-5, winning 4 points in a row. All of those points were very, very close as well. On the other hand, though, Philippines, of course, seed number 2 coming into this tournament, had another really strong showing last week. Actually, looking at some stats, there are some pretty scary stats for the Philippines. Having a look at it, they played 5 maps. 4 out of those 5 maps, they scored number 1 in the team rankings, and they're the only team in the round of 16 to score not a single combo break. They got 10 FCs out of 10 in the round of 16.
Yup, the team from the Philippines just showing that they're a team on a mission. I mean, everybody knew what happened last year after Japan won't make that easy for them.
Yeah, so here we are going to be getting straight into it, of course. The good thing for Japan is that no matter who they're facing, even if it's a team as strong as Philippines, they have a very singular plan for each match. They will always ban LN against any team. They will always pick Rice against any team. That's the kind of team that they have this year. So of course here they are going to be banning LN1. This is the more coordination heavy LN pick, the one that they're probably least comfortable with. Makes the most sense here. Philippines probably going to be banning, you would expect, maybe one of the Rice picks, the one that's most in Japan's comfort zone. But then again, Philippines are the one that get to pick whatever they want, but get to ban whatever they want, because they are, in theory, on paper, the stronger team here. So if there is any of the hybrids perhaps that they might not be fully consistent on, that might be an option as well. And we're getting their ban in. It is going to be one of the Rise picks here, For No Reason is going to be the ban coming out here. This one is the denser chord stream pick. So Japan, actually, very good ban against Japan, I would say. Japan would be much more comfortable with a denser chord stream pick that they can hack very well, of course.
Okay.
First.
Two of the players, like very known to basically play on Beatmania controllers. So they're not on your usual keyboard layout, like for example STM Spacebar JKL. They are using basically what you'd see in an arcade cabinet. So, and bracket heavy, chord stream heavy charts do favor, like some charts of those do favor that kind of play style.
Yeah, I actually just cannot imagine playing a lot of these maps on a Beatmania controller. That just kind of seems absurd, especially the LN maps in particular. And it looks like Philippines is actually going to go for one of these hybrids to start it off.
You know, Hazama, the longest longest non-tiebreaker pick in the entire pool. One of the more straightforward charts as well. And as far as I know, this is one of like the sequel to one of Silent Room's songs, as mentioned by Toph last time during the Map Pool Showcase. Though I forgot that specific detail.
Yeah, so here we are, the teams being formed here for both of them. Kura, of course, we expect to see in pretty much every one of the maps for the Philippines. Arona being the LN specialist on the Philippines as well. And Japan, My Angel Koishi being one of their kind of staple players. And of course, Rain Lily, who's been putting up some pretty fantastic accuracy in the Rice picks in particular. So here we go, the very first map here. Very, very long map as well, almost 4 minutes long. Longer than anything we saw last week. And that means that individual misses probably not going to completely decide the match. This accuracy from both the players is going to matter even more than usual. When right out the gates on these LNs, Rain Lily finding an early break. Doesn't drop a huge amount of accuracy, still in this 99% range, and it is before the 400 combo mark. So it's not going to matter as much as a miss right now from any of the players.
But then we are about to enter the more denser chord streamy kind of section, kind of like Primatrix from the round of 16 pools. Albeit they're obviously long notes, and it does appear the Philippines side is carrying a bit more of that accuracy over both of the Japanese players. But that miss from Rain Lily not really affecting the scores that much.
Actually, in terms of accuracy, Japan are catching up very quickly. Arona did drop quite a lot in accuracy now, and Rain Lily is already at a 90. Oh, no, never mind. Missed. But still very high accuracy. That's a clean miss, but it is a miss nonetheless. So that's 2 misses for Japan's side versus the 2 full combos from the Philippines.
As long as the Filipino players hold on to those full combos, especially with Rain Lily still getting a 3rd miss on this chart, a 4th one. That's now that lead is starting to widen a bit.
And Rain Lily's AC is still really good, but just struggling to hold the combo on some of these LN patterns, I think it is in particular.
No one, like My Angel Koishi is carrying a very nice performance at 99.57. Like basically on par with Arona's accuracy. Like basically both of the players is still relatively unfazed by these patterns. Rain Lily getting yet another drop, and there's still quite a lot of chart remaining. There's still a 3rd, so there is still some chance for Team Japan to catch up. But they kind of have to hope that the Filipino players have to start dropping some notes.
And that's the big question. Will Philippines miss? Are Philippines even capable of missing at this point? There's still quite a lot of the map left, as you say. Rain Lily finding another miss, though, right before the break section here.
We have to note, as you mentioned before the match even started, the Philippines have not yet committed any combo breaks for the past 5 charts they already played, and it might be 6 if this continues. Rehash of the intro. No one really phased. It's super easy to miss on these kinds of patterns.
Yeah, we're getting to the outro already now. Even if there is a miss at this point from the Philippines, it's not going to matter that much. There have been quite a few misses from Rain Lily coming in, and also this accuracy advantage overall for the Philippines is still holding strong.
The Philippines just trying to take home this point. Rain Lily holding on to that combo very well now. Like these LNs are a bit more trilly, so it might be a bit easier for them to hold combo of some sorts, but that's not going to be enough as Philippines take their first point on the board.
And actually really impressive overall being 3 full combos. Both of the Philippines players and also My Angel Koishi holding some extremely strong scores. But just a little bit of lack of comfort from Rain Lily, actually still holding a really good accuracy themselves, but just not being able to hold the combo really cost them.
It'll be Team Japan's turn to pick a map to play in this match. And
yeah,
I think the expectations would be, as you mentioned, a rice pick from Team Japan.
Yeah, it would have to be a rice pick you would expect, and it looks like it's going to be Fuzzy Novel, the evening map here.
Yep, the mixed rice, sort of wacky kind of a chart. Obviously not as wacky as Rice 6, our technical pick for this pool, but still wacky enough.
And this one is now the really important point for Japan to see if they can take one off of the Philippines here. Of course, that first map, it was Philippines' own pick, so it's not the end of the world yet for Japan. But here we go, we've got
We'll be going in for Arona.
Yeah, player switch. This one is to be expected. Philippines have that really deep roster of 4 players, and Boji being the rice specialist on this team absolutely makes sense that he would be switching in here.
Well, I mean, we've seen Kura and Boji being a very solid rice duo over the past matches, even stretching back to the previous World Cup. And they're going to try to continue that streak. Obviously, that 4th player, we still haven't really seen them in any of the matches except for the last match where they did the roll for TPH and got to 99 or something like that. But anyways, here we go with Fuzzy Novel.
Let's see how this one plays out. A much shorter map overall, just under 2 minutes. So if Japan manages to hold the combo through this, and if we see a choke from Philippines, definitely could be possible here.
Obviously, in the beginning, like, accuracies will be pretty much on par, and as we are seeing Team Japan kind of getting the early advantage here, as we've mentioned, Japan's rice ability is one of the strongest, I'd say, at least for like the earlier stages in this tournament. But obviously, Team Philippines has something to say about it.
Yeah, actually, Kura and Boji both dropping a little bit of accuracy. Nothing too major though, still 99.7 for both of them. But right now, Rain Lily is the difference maker. 99.84 still holding. But as My Angel Koishi drops a few 200s, it's actually giving the lead back to Philippines.
But still full combos on every single player in this team, so there's still an
I think that's a real miss from Boji.
That might be.
Is it? Oh, maybe. Hard to tell with that well-timed freeze from Client there, but if that's a real miss, this is a definite advantage for Team Japan now. As I said, this is a short map, so all misses count.
Well, it's a very easy portion in the chart to choke on. Basically, the entire chart is super easy to choke on. My Angel, Koishi, and Ray Lily still carrying their full combo score. The only full combo left on the Philippines side. And oh my goodness, Ray Lily with that 99.83. Very strong showing from them.
Yeah, this is insane accuracy. My Angel Koishi actually... Yeah, that's going to trade the misses back, but the accuracy, look at My Angel Koishi and Boji. They both have 1 miss, they both have the same accuracy, so all the difference is Rain Lily right now. Dropping a few 200s there, but still a little bit above Kura. And I think the lead is currently in Japan's favor just by a little bit.
Is there going to be enough time for... Is there going to be enough time? Rain Lily getting missed at the end! Ooh, that's brutal.
The very last pattern it could have possibly happened. And Rain Lily drops the combo.
Kura with only 1 200, but Ray Lily, oh my gosh, holding on very well, except for that one singular choke on that ending pattern, changing what could have been a possible first point for Team Japan.
That was so close to being won by Japan, just a couple of unfortunate misses at the very end. And even after that, losing by only 6,000 points, that is heartbreaking there. So 2 points now for Philippines, the first 2 points of the match, and now it's Philippines' own pick. They have more choices, it feels like, than Japan does in the map pool. All of these LN picks are still up.
If there's anything though, I guess like the most like the possibly riskiest of the LN picks might be dive to LN3, but it does appear that it does appear they're going to pick LN3. Yeah, dive with you. I'd say it's the riskiest because it's the most chord streamy of all of the LN picks, but obviously it's LNs. Also, Arona going in for Boji, so it does appear that we'll be seeing one of the stronger LN teams again. Team Japan maintaining their same pairing since the start of the match.
Yeah, not switching in any of their players, but we'll see how that ends up treating them. Of course, My Angel Koishi I would expect to be playing in most of these. I guess it really does come down to kind of the level of comfort that we see Rain Lily have, because they have been struggling a little bit with the combo in some of the LN maps.
The thing about the Shuno Hazama from earlier, it's a bit more brackety. Like the chord streams in that chart are a bit more brackety of some sort, but like it's like chords where they're basically close together, and for a lot of people those are comfier to hit. This chart is a bit different since the LN chord streams here are more on the starey variety. So a lot of people also say that at least the motions should be practically the same. So we'll have to see if Rain Lily is a bit more comfortable in these kinds of LN chord streams.
Yeah, let's see. Very calm start here. Oh, but actually a little bit of accuracy difficulty from both of the Japanese players right off the bat, down to the low 99s. And both of the Philippines players
about
right
to
now.
Enter the first chorus.
Here we go. This accolade just from the intro is so massive. Yeah, so far everyone seems fairly comfortable with this part. Actually, the Japanese players both raising their accuracies up.
Arona dropping a bit to a 99.5, but still very stable right there. Kora at carrying that 99.74. So accuracy advantage is still with the Philippine side, especially with everyone still holding full combos. And this is one of the shorter picks in the pool as well, so you can't really afford committing any mistakes. And there you go, first one from Rain Lily.
Thankfully, that was a clean miss. It's still 99.4, but oh, that's another miss.
And Koishi follows up. Rain Lily also triple miss. Oh my goodness, Rain Lily kind of struggling with that transition.
Yeah, really struggled to get the hang of that stream right there with the LNs, and now it's all kind of falling apart. This is now a massive lead.
Very massive lead indeed. My Angel Koishi not helping their cause there with that miss. But we have to note, like, these scores we're seeing are still super impressive. Like, similar to what we've seen on the Russia match last week for the Philippines. Like, Japan is like one of the titans of the game, but like, how do you beat a team that just carries like super impressive act?
Yeah, I mean, 99% on a map like this is crazy, but even crazier is just, I mean, what is this? Like, 991984 double FC from Philippines. You can't really do much. That's the kind of team that Japan is facing right now. And unfortunately for Japan, that means that Philippines is taking that 3-0 lead in this match.
Now that I notice it, might be the BM controller layout not really being the most conducive for this kind of chart.
Yeah, I can't imagine BMS controller is the best for LNs in particular. I'm not really sure how that would work. But of course, Rain Lily finds a way.
Yeah, I mean, haven't we seen like Rain Lily, or was it a different player from the Japanese team like post a almost passing Stellium with a BM controller?
Yeah, I think that was
like
Rain Lily just recently, yeah.
A few days before round of 16.
But here we go, Japan get another pick. They're going to go with Reincarnation, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the Core Jack pick, is it not?
It is the Core Jack pick, and I'd say one of the most dangerous picks Japan could probably take against the Philippines, but Core Jack picks are kind of fair game in a way. Especially for charts that spread out as this, like it's easy to choke either way. Like not much anchor action. Like the most anchored jacks were like 3 notes long. But then you see the Philippines here, like their accuracy even on just the core streamy picks have been super impeccable. More on the core jack pick.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this one goes down, because Core Jack is one of those weird categories where it is a kind of a matter of comfort in a way. And if Japan is picking this, it kind of gives away that they are definitely comfortable with this. I can only imagine that Philippines is comfortable with this. And what happens is, if all 4 players are very comfortable being able to play the Core Jacks, then this is going to come down to ratio. And I am very scared because I expect to see some pretty ridiculous ratios from some of these players.
Boji going in for Arona as expected in the Rice pick. Boji also carrying the hidden mod, but I think like those who are very familiar with Mania personalities, Boji is known to be a hidden player for 7k. So nothing really out of the ordinary there. But then as we see Team Japan carrying that early accuracy, but it's a matter of whether they could hold on to that advantage later on in the chart.
Yeah, Kura a little bit behind the other players, but behind being 99.85 doesn't really mean a whole lot. We are still fairly early into the chart, a third of the way through, but Japan's accuracy is monstrous right now, 99.93, 99.92. The Philippines are catching up.
Strong accuracies indeed.
Kura's recovered now, 99.88. Boji not far behind at all.
There's a massive drop from Rain Lily. Rain Lily dropping to below 99.9. So that gives the Philippines some opportunity to catch up, and the scores are flickering.
That was a couple 200s from Rain Lily, and yeah, that was the highest accuracy for Japan as well. Now My Angel Koishi actually dropping down below 99.9, while both of the Philippines players have been steadily improving. Boji now the highest in the lobby, but My Angel Koishi finds a miss.
My Angel Koishi now getting the first drop.
And you can't afford a miss on a pick like this against a team like the Philippines.
The coin has flipped to the Philippines side. And as I mentioned earlier, like Japan can hold on very well, at least early on, but they have to make sure that they can maintain that form as the chart goes on, because you cannot commit any mistakes. You cannot commit any mistake at all, especially if you're facing Team Philippines. There you go, fourth point on the board.
75 with 50 actually from Rain Lily. And looking at these ratios, oh my god, if that miss didn't happen, I think looking at these ratios, this would have actually been a Japan win. My Angel Koishi did have a better accuracy overall than Boji, and Rain Lily with higher accuracy than Kura. Very unfortunate singular miss there in the halfway point of that map, but it does mean that Philippines manages to score a second breakpoint just barely.
Philippines advantage as well as they get their next pick, and they're going to try to make sure to get to that match point as soon as they could. Like, they still have pretty much like a lot of options left. Like, I'd say maybe like the LN4 Major Violet might be their safest pick considering how they performed in LN3.
And I think
maybe even Hybrid 3.
There's a very scary situation for Japan right now, and that's that Philippines are 2 points away from winning. There are still 2 LN picks up. if I'm doing my maths correctly, that means that Japan has to win one of the LN picks at the very least if they want any chance at coming back in this match. And of course, Philippines are going to go for these LNs.
Like, my main concern as well is that the hybrid picks aren't exactly the friendliest as well if you're just leaning towards Rice. So it does appear that we'll be seeing the first substitution from the Japanese side. We'll be seeing Lulu M coming in for Rain Lily.
Yeah, first substitute we're seeing here. One of the LN players for Japan. Lulu M has been subbing in for some of these LN maps so far.
I was going to happen when they're going to start. While we're at it, while we're waiting, I think we should tell that the Mania 7K World Cup 2023 player support team support banners are up. Like, you can buy them off the Osu store. Like, please, like, if you want to show your support to the teams, please do.
Yeah, absolutely. Go to that Osu store, buy a banner for your Osu profile, right? For any of the 16 teams that are in the tournament right now, if you want to show your support for the team that you support. So make sure you go check them out. They do look really sick.
It's appear that everybody is just greeting each other in the chat. But yeah, about this pick, like, this is the mixed LN pick, so we're going to see pretty much a little bit of everything in this chart. I'd say this is actually one of the easier LN picks to deal with in the pool, but like, there's a little bit of technicality in this chart. Might trip up any of these players. Also, as you notice, Arona will be going in for Boji, as we've seen in the previous LN hybrid picks.
Yeah, Arona has been really consistent on these LN maps, so definitely a good idea for them to keep subbing in for these.
If the strategy works, they might as well stick with it. But anyways, here we go. Kura with a characteristic drop there.
That was a really early one. Gives actually not even the lead. The accuracy from Arona alone is actually keeping Philippines in the lead despite the early combo drop. And there's Lulu M finding first couple of misses for Team Japan. And this accuracy is not very comfortable right now for Japan.
Both below 99%. If my eyes are not failing me, Koichi just getting back to 99%. Arona consistent with that 99.63. Kura not really faced with those early drops. And the Philippines are kind of like starting to stretch that lead just a tad bit more. Lulu trying to get that accuracy up to 99% as much as they could, but like, they're just hovering around that 98.7 level. Angel Koichi at that 99.1 level. Yeah, we have to note Arona and Angel Koichi are the only ones with full combos left in this. Well, Arona's the only one left with the full combo. Forget that I said that.
Yeah, unfortunate double miss there for Japan. We're halfway through the map, but this score lead is just getting bigger and bigger. And that early miss from Kura doesn't seem to be affecting him too much. Already up to 99.5, the highest accuracy in the lobby.
Like, Arona kind of dropping their accuracy just a tad bit, but still holding on to that very consistent combo. Kura as well, like, basically on par accuracy in between both Filipino players. Maya Koichi and Lulu not like just showing just a tad bit more cracks in these LN picks, and like these like, correct me if I'm wrong, they're called 16-bit patterns. Like, they're not really helping. They're not really the most comfortable for Lulu as it appears.
Yeah, they do seem to be absolutely brutal. Actually, Kura finding another break here for Team Philippines, but a singular break, it's not going to do much. Well, there's a second one, but still, not going to do too much to this score lead right now. It's growing so large. And we're already towards the end of the map.
Yeah, kind of uncharacteristic browser from Kura, but like at least for this round, like you're kind of have to start expecting like a few like a miss or two here every now and then. So kind of normal, but like ooh, Arona dropping their full combo. I was about to mention something like maintaining that in the end, but it doesn't matter. Team Philippines will be at match point, and it was a long note break as well. So no misses actually.
But unfortunately, can't really call it the full combo at the very, very end of the map. That's unfortunate. But inconsequential to the map at the very least. So those misses aren't going to mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of the match. But now it is 5-0. Japan, they're going to have to pull it off again. But this time, I think it might be a bit too hard for them. We'll see. Has to start from right now, and they do have one more pick that they can definitely go for. Any of the Rice maps, 3 left that are still up.
I'm actually kind of wondering what's their best pick. Maybe Aratana Riketsui. Like it's the chord stream. Like it's the other chord stream pick. It might be their best bet probably. Like, I'm not sure how Gifts of Phila and Melan will be playing, at least for them. And there you go, Aratana Riketsui getting picked by Team Japan. The other, basically the most straightforward of the remaining picks in the Rice picks in the pool.
Yeah, so Japan definitely trying to leverage their accuracy in the Rice. And to be fair, it really has been going well for them in the accuracy department at the very least. They have definitely put up accuracies that are even with or even beat Philippines in these Rice picks, but it's really just come down to these misses. So in this map right now, Japan really just cannot afford any more of these misses. They just have to hold their combos, try for a double full combo if they can, and that might be enough to be able to win a map right now off of the Philippines.
Yep, but eventually they have to start getting a few breakpoints off as well. But at least like getting some of that momentum on their side will be helping them. But first they have to focus on this. Here we go with these initial chord streams, and we've been seeing this basically on all of the Rice picks. Team Japan kind of getting a slight advantage, at least on the accuracy end. Though it does appear that Team Philippines is a bit closer this time around. They're making the score gap flicker in between these two teams.
These are some insane accuracies. This is like 99.9 for 3 players right now. Boji 99.88. This is tense. This is 1/200 difference between these two teams. Not even a few 300s could do it right now. And actually, my Angel Koishi does drop down to 99.85.
Still an extremely high accuracy. Any mistake from any of these players can prove the difference between getting the point or not.
Rain Lily drops a couple 200s as well.
That stretches the lead of Team Philippines by just a tad bit, but still Japan within striking distance. But this is a very short pick, only 2 minutes. So if you're hoping for Team Philippines to drop, you kind of have to invoke that hope now.
It feels like just with these picks, Philippines, their accuracy just goes up and up as the map goes on. Oh, there's a few 200s.
Few 200.
That's dangerous.
Characteristic there. But still, one of the higher the second highest accuracy between these four players.
Oh, but actually now this is really close. All 4 players at 99.8 now. Boji is the only one with any significant accuracy difference, 99.86. And it's so close, a couple 200s.
Japan. But this is the end of the chart.
Oh,
and Team Philippines getting their 6 point.
1,300. We have 4 full combos. And look at these ratios. Wait, they're identical.
Oh, they're super similar. They're similar.
Boji and Rain Lily, basically the same. My Angel, Koishi, and Kura with, I mean, these 4 scores are ridiculous.
That is ridiculous, yeah.
But in the end, it does go to Philippines. That is a 6-0 sweep. But Japan put up such a fight there. This could have, in another world, you can imagine this is 3-3 right now.
Yep, definitely. Japan showing that form that they have, the form we've seen from them on the match against Indonesia last weekend. Unfortunately, though, they'll be relegated to the losers bracket. But whatever team will be facing them will have one heck of a task. But congratulations to Team Philippines for advancing to the winners bracket semi-finals, getting to that stage where kind of have to think there might be a chance for a podium. Who knows?
Well, we'll have to see. But that will be the end of the very first match we're seeing. Of course, Japan is still in this. Japan have the losers bracket. That was a winners bracket match. So Japan are going to be sent down to the losers. And I'm sure there's a pretty insane matchup set up there for next week. But for now, next match, we're going to have 2 more matches in this block. The next one is going to be the first losers bracket we're seeing. So the first team that will be eliminated will be decided right here between the Russian Federation and Indonesia. So make sure you stick around for this one in about 23 minutes.